Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC. So, I've had this pickled steel here for quite some time now, and it's time to talk about it and talk about other things from pickled steel too. So, really honored to take a look at it. So, let's get into it. All right, so this is the Beserker S, and this is one of the smaller offerings that Pickled Steel has based on their website, and it's pretty stinking cool. So when I opened it, I did have some concerns, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. So this is the Beserker from Pickled Steel. So this is one of their stock designs that they are working with an OEM into making. Again, Pickled Steel is doing some really cool stuff, and all of their stuff is a budget-friendly version. Aldo believes in being budget-friendly, where they are in South Africa. Having D2 as a steel is a great steel. It's a drier environment, and it's a very tough steel. And I have no issues with D2 being a tough steel, but it is not so great when it comes to corrosiveness, which here in Florida, where I live, D2 is not necessarily my favorite to have, but obviously if you're living in a drier environment, D2 is going to be perfect. And basically for $31, which is what this knife is going for, you're really within a really great budget. Before I go any further, if you haven't checked out the Pickled Steel website, I will link it in the description of this video, but you should go check it out because a lot of their stuff now is here in the United States and it is available. Plus they have the pricing in US dollars now, which is very, very helpful to all of us trying to figure out where and how we can get one. They are now importing knives into the United States and then shipping from within the United States, which that is stinking really cool. So these are going to become more and more available to the US public. So that is really an awesome offering that Pickled Steel is now doing. And now the US market is now going to be able to experience some of these knives a little bit more often, which is really, really cool. So the Beserker S. This is right up my alley. It's a great size, great shape, and I really have enjoyed carrying this over the past several days. And the more that I had it, the more that I played with it, the more I really like this thing. It is a flipper design only, so that is their only means of deployment is the flipper, which is really, really smooth. It is running on bearings, again, D2 steel. It is fairly comfortable in the hand. I can get a good 3.5 fingers on it. My pinky gets down here, and it is very, very comfortable. They have the jimping here on the spine, and also they have chamfered off the spine as well. So there's no hot spot there on the spine. But if you needed a sharper edge to catch to, on a ferro rod or something, you could do that up here at the tip of the blade. You have the belt satin finish with the nice flats on there. And it's a really, really great blade shape. Really like that shape. And it is comfortable. I did have a hot spot right in where the lock bar was, but when in cutting and everything, I haven't experienced that. So that was just me being silly, I think, and it really wasn't any issue. I do have one small hot spot on the jimping here on the flipper. Just that first jimp right in here is a little bit aggressive, but I think if I took a file and filed that down, it wouldn't be so harsh. It makes it easy to grab to flip, but when you're here, it's pinching my finger right in there. But I think all I have to do is take a file and file that off, and it's going to be no problem. The lock bar access is amazing. You got plenty of finger grip to get into that lock bar. And again, the flipper action is really good. I still wish there was room for thumb studs here. It would be awesome to be able to fidget with this a little bit differently besides just the flipper. I like multiple means of deployment, and I really feel like having thumb studs on this knife would be awesome. The clip has been strong and fits in the pocket well. There's no issues. There's no recessed screws or anything, which that would have been a nice touch. But for $31, what I don't understand what else you need. It has the G10, which is nice and grippy, so there's no issues there. This jimping here on the back of the spine was actually very helpful when pulling it out of the pocket. You got plenty of grip with that, pulling that out. And this thing is a cutter and is really, really awesome. So let's look at some measurements on this one. Everything is on their website in millimeters still, which that gets me confusing sometimes, so I'm sorry, but the metric system has me a little confused still. So we're looking at about a 3-inch blade right at the back of the choil. So if it would be roughly 3 1/4 if it's going all the way to the start of the handle down here. But it's 3 inches of blade of sharpened edge. And overall, we're at 7 1/8 inch overall. So just a little over 7 inches overall. How about some size comparisons? Let's take a look at it next to the Rat 2. Let's see here. I'll zoom in just a little bit. Let's get everything centered. So it is roughly the exact same overall size as the Rat 2, which means it's going to be very close to the Civivi Elementum. So it's just a little bit longer overall than the Civivi Elementum, but the blade size is still roughly about the same. Let's look at the last one, which is going to be the Para 3. And you can see overall, it's, well, let's see, I put it right about there. It's about the same overall, but as far as the thickness of the handle and everything goes, you could see, we're pretty darn close to being the same. Actually, the Beserker is pretty much the exact same thickness as the Para 3. So that's very interesting to look at. So I have been really enjoying some of this stuff coming out of South Africa from Pickled Steel. They're doing some really great stuff, and I can't say enough good things. So I have been able to check out now the Beserker, the Ghost, which has been really awesome, the Freya. They sent these 3 knives in this drop, I guess, into the American market. They're trying to get some other knives. The Freya is the most budget friendly at $22, and both the Ghost and the Beserker are coming in at exactly, let me pull that up for you guys. The Ghost is $31.93, and the Beserker is $31.93 as well. So these two are the exact same. So for your money, the Ghost is your ticket with the contoured G10 and a little bit bigger of a blade. And they're doing a really great stuff over there. So I would definitely check out Pickled Steel. Like I said, the website is now US friendly with American dollars. But man, they are just killing it on the budget side of things. And I know for a fact that they are going to be doing some really cool stuff here coming up in the near future. I know that they're going to be looking at some other steels and doing some other new designs. I would definitely check out their website for some of their custom designs that they are working with other makers with. Things like the Capolavaro, which I had here on the channel, the Rhino, and something like this, which is the Warhog. They have some really, really unique designs coming up, and some of them are going to be pretty stinking cool. Also, keep an eye out, because this year at Pickled Steel, there's going to be an AriesEDC designed folder from Pickled Steel. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but Aldo has reached out and he said that they are in the works of putting some stuff together and getting me some renderings of what that's going to look like here in the next month or so. And I am super excited because if it's going to be anything action-wise and quality like this Warhog right now, which is what I would want it to be, it's going to be really, really stinking cool. So I really hope you guys are enjoying all this stuff coming out of South Africa, Pickled Steel. It's something a little bit different. They have a different mindset of what they're doing as a knife company. And I got to tell you, some of the stuff that's coming out and some of the blade shapes and all of the choices that they're offering for all of you guys to enjoy at really great prices is pretty stinking cool. So check out Pickled Steel. I'll put the link in the description of this video. But as far as the Beserker goes, this is just another winner in my book. Just so cool, such a great shape and size. So it is a little smaller than the Ghost and a little bit smaller than even the Freyha. But what a really great option for you guys to be able to have from Pickled Steel, who's just doing some really, really great stuff. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. Again, the choice is always yours.